Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
He is the man at the center of the alleged sign-stealing scheme in Michigan football. Breaking tonight, university officials say Connor Stalions has stepped down. The university suspended Stalions without pay, or with pay, wasn't it, for 2 weeks, as the NCAA investigated the claims. And now this new wrinkle tops Local 4 News at 11. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Let's get right over to Hobie Artigue. And for Bernie tonight, Hobie, the story just keeps evolving.
And this is kind of the first official word we get since all of this news broke just a few weeks ago. The news coming down earlier tonight in Michigan, deciding to make a move, and it's the first real domino to fall since those sign-stealing allegations came out last month. Michigan saying tonight, of course, that Connor Stalions resigned from his position at the U of M. He's the person at the center of that NCAA investigation. The university, they did suspend him with pay back on October 20th. The Athletic, by the way, is also reporting that Stalions refused to cooperate with any internal or external investigations. It, of course, comes as Big Ten coaches are calling for action from the conference against Michigan, though head coach Jim Harbaugh denies having any knowledge of the alleged sign-stealing scheme. We'll have more on Michigan coming up in sports as they get back to action tomorrow, trying to keep up their undefeated season with all of this also going on.
That's right, Hobie, thank you. And Michigan's next game, of course, tomorrow night right here on Local 4 against Purdue. Our coverage begins with Jamie and Hobie for a pregame show that begins at 6:30 on Local 4 Plus. Then join us on the TV side here on Local 4 for NBC Sports Big Ten Countdown at 7, followed by the game at 7:30. And then stick around after the game for a full recap on Local 4 News at 11. All right, Tuesday's local elections won't just impact individual communities, but have the possibility of changing up the power balance in Lansing.
We wondered if this was going to happen ahead of the primary, and then things fell into place. And now, is that where we're headed? Mara McDonald live downtown tonight. We have seen a lot of bills roll through the Michigan House over the last 48 hours, some of them controversial, but that's because everybody can see the math that might be shaping up here.
Some interesting math, Devin, that is for sure. There is a possibility that the Democrats could lose their very thin margin in the Michigan House. Let me show you why. Late last night, Michigan Democrats passed their controversial green energy bills through the State House.
All the energy that can be harvested from the sun and the wind can actually be made right here in Michigan.
Knowing that come Tuesday, the math in the House chamber may change.
And when you think you might be losing your majority status, you're going to get everything done that you can. And progressives have been pushing for this. I mean, they have said that we want our agenda done, and we have the potential of not having the majority, so get it done. And that's exactly what the House Democrats are doing right now.
That's because State Rep Kevin Coleman and State Rep Lori Stone are both in the running to be mayor. Coleman in Westland and Stone in Warren. If they both win, that puts the House at an even 54-54 until special elections can be held to fill the seats in February of next year. Interestingly, that 54-54 split does not mean shared power in the House, which is something Michigan has had. In 1993 through 94, Michigan had co-speakers, a Democrat and a Republican, because of an even split. So why not now? Well, it's a numbers game. It would need to be 55 versus 55 to see shared power return.
The rules dictate that as long as it's 54-54, Speaker Tate will remain Speaker, but to try to do something with shared power, there's no agreement on anything. So them agreeing to sharing power, let alone who those two people would be, it's impossible to see happening in this day and age.
Back here live, so the permutations really could look several ways right now. You could stay where you are at 56-54 if they both lose, or one could win, putting it at 55-54, or that tie at 54-54. Devin, Kimberly, we're downtown tonight. Back to you.
And at 54-54, then the likelihood of the House staying in session for the next couple of months is
questionable, Devin,
right?
At best, because I mean, let's put it that way. The governor, of course, could always force them into session, but if you've got a democratically led House and you have a tie there, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of interest in helping the other guy out. I'll tell you one thing, though, but if this does happen and it does go to 54-54, and then you have special elections in February and it somehow went to 55-55, shared power,
Right?
we'd be up in Lansing every day. It would be exciting to watch.
And then the timing of the sessions also impacts the Democrats' ability to move their primary. I mean, there's so much wrapped up in all this. Yeah. All right, Mara.
Okay. New at 11, Detroit police need your help identifying a woman found dead on the city's east side. Officers made the discovery around 10 Wednesday morning. Investigators released this composite sketch of the woman and a picture of the jewelry she was wearing. Take a look there. Anyone with information can call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And remember, you can remain anonymous.
Also new tonight, a former Warren police officer is indicted in a jail assault that was captured on camera. This incident was captured security video June 13th. Prosecutors say then Officer Matthew Rodriguez hit 19-year-old Jaquan Smith. Smith had been arrested. They say Rodriguez later made false statements to Warren police about the incident, and Rodriguez has since been fired. But a formal arraignment is set for Monday.
Classes will be back in session Monday at Redford Union High School. Classes at the school were canceled today after police say a man attacked and killed a coworker. That attack happened after classes were done. No students were around. A 42-year-old man was taken into custody. We're told both men worked for a third-party custodial company. President Biden was in Maine today speaking with the community where a shooter killed 18 people last week.
The president was joined by the First Lady and Maine's Governor Janet Mills. He addressed the fact that he and the First Lady have done too many of these kinds of events, Uvalde, Sandy Hook, and more. He spoke to the community just after laying flowers at a memorial.
Jill and I are here, though, on behalf of the American people, to grieve with you and to make sure you know that you're not alone.
He also thanked the first responders, the doctors, and the nurses who tended to those who were injured.
There's a demand for a ceasefire in Gaza, just as Secretary of State Antony Blinken pays a visit to Israel, calling to pause all airstrikes. The call to action is to give time for hostages to get out and for aid to get in. Israel's prime minister is determined there would be no temporary ceasefire until Hamas releases all the hostages. Tonight, unarmed U.S. military drones are flying above Gaza, helping in that hostage search.
We expect tomorrow afternoon we'll be getting a look at the UAW's tentative agreement with General Motors. Union President Shawn Fain will make another live appearance on social media noon tomorrow. We're told the deal is, as you might expect, similar to those at Ford and Stellantis. Union members will then be able to review the full language online. That will start tomorrow. Yesterday, the Stellantis Executive Council voted to send that contract to the rank and file for their ratification vote. And of course, union members are already voting at Ford. The final results are likely not going to be in until the middle of this month. A Detroit rapper giving back to his community to celebrate the release of his brand new album.
We're talking about Grizzly. He partnered with a local Coney Island today to give out free food. Hundreds of people were there, including our Jacqueline Francis. And Jacqueline, he wanted to give back to the neighborhood that inspired him so much.
Kimberly, that's right. Grizzly has not let the fame go to his head. He was humble and gracious to his fans tonight, telling us it's good to be home.
We've been in line for about 2 hours.
The line was out the door Friday night at L. George's Coney Island on Detroit's west side.
Ready to see him.
Everyone there for him. Detroit rapper Grizzly returning to his hometown Coney.
I grew up coming to this place, so I can't even believe it. I've never seen it look like this before.
To celebrate the release of his latest album.
So I called it T's Coney Island because I just wanted to get back to my roots.
Give back he did, giving out hundreds of free meals to the community.
He's giving us some lovely food. This is going to be dinner for us. Drinks, fries, his favorite pita sandwich.
This is T's fourth album. He hopes his success can be an inspiration to others.
I like how he loved the city, and he shows the city love. We need to get back to that.
And I want to just spread that good energy, you know what I'm saying, and that positivity. And I want to spread that, especially in my community, that we can do so much more. If we just believe in ourselves, invest in ourselves, and give our dreams a chance, you know, I just want y'all to know it can come true. If it happened for me, it definitely can happen for anybody, for sure.
We're told the rap star does live with his family somewhere in the city, but most of the time he keeps a low profile. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Oh, he definitely loves his city, and he shows it in its music. Jacqueline, we appreciate your story tonight.
Profile of the day was perfect.
Yeah,
wasn't
it really,
the
really.
one he was keeping there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we've got the weekend here.
We do, and it's shaping up to be not so bad, Kim.
Not as bad as we expected earlier in the week. In fact, it's looking much drier as we head into the second half of Saturday and into Sunday. But right now, we do still have a few scattered showers, especially north of I-69 up into the Thumb. But we've had a few scattered showers even here in our immediate area. It was raining about 45 minutes ago in Plymouth. Now just a couple of sprinkles there. Livonia getting some sprinkles. Also Dearborn and Melvindale will go up into Macomb County. And there was some light rain within the last 20 minutes in Macomb, Sterling Heights, and Fraser, but that's all now done, and we'll see that rain taper off as we go through the early morning hours tomorrow, leaving us with a pretty nice day. It's mild right now, near 60 downtown Detroit, mid-50s at Metro Airport, and 53 in Pontiac. Tomorrow we start out at 44 with lots of clouds, maybe a sprinkle early in the morning, but otherwise the rest of the day just looks mostly cloudy with temps getting into the mid-50s. One thing you'll notice tomorrow is that the winds will be light. It was a little bit windy today, and that will not be the case tomorrow. We'll talk about the big change to Sunday's forecast in just a couple minutes.